Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. The third installment to the John Wick franchise sees our title character picking up directly after the second installment concluded. Now, with no resources and no one to turn to, John Wick has to get creative as he fights literally every assassin with a $14 million bounty on his head. I have really liked both John Wick films. I do prefer the first slightly to the second, but I think they are both really solid, really great action movies. And I was really excited for John Wick Chapter 3. I love the way that the second one ended. It opened the doors to a really creative, exciting third installment. And let me just say, they delivered. This was pretty freaking awesome. So, let's go ahead and talk about the positives first. Well, the biggest positive is that the action is awesome. The action is everything you are going in hoping to get. First of all, it is plentiful. There is a lot of really great action here. It's also really brutal. We have some crazy kill shots that are brutal, but very much in vein and in character to what it is that's happening. And it was pretty awesome. And the way that these action scenes are shot was impeccable. We get long takes, we get quicker cuts, we get different settings, we get different styles of fighting, and it all was so much fun to watch. Set piece after set piece was just a joy. Every single time we jumped into action, you knew you were in for a pretty gruesome, exhilarating time. And the direction in general is really solid. That allows everything to be seen, allows everything to breathe. It really the pacing never feels off, whether it's slowed down just a tad to let us regain our footing, understand our surroundings, or we're just action after action after action. In particular, the beginning of this movie, we literally hit the ground running, and it takes a while until we even get a breather, and I thought that was done so well. I also think the acting was really solid, as usual. Keanu Reeves is great as John Wick. He's not asked to do a whole lot emotion-wise, but he's just great in the physicality of the role, the believability of the role, the sternness, everything about John Wick, Keanu Reeves fully embodies. I also loved Halle Berry in this movie. I just wish we had gotten maybe even a little bit more. Her action sequences with John Wick were amazing. Particularly, I really loved seeing this style of fighting that incorporated these dogs, this woman with her attack dogs, and her own physical abilities. It was amazing. Angelica Houston was in here. She's always great. Lawrence Fishburne was great. Ian McShane also is basically Ian McShane, but it works. He is this character, and I really liked where his character went in this film. The story was really intense. This felt like a challenge and a film worthy of that John Wick omnipresent action lethal killer. I also think visually the movie was stunning. We are given so many different types of settings that these fights take place in, that these different set pieces just happen in, where they visit, where they see. Of course, we get the Continental, but we get to explore new areas to the Continental that we've never seen that were amazing. So visually, this film is just top-notch. It looked gorgeous. And did I mention the action is amazing? This is an action film, and that's the biggest positive, y'all. The action is legit amazing. It is like top tier what you want from an action film, period. Okay. Now let's go on to the negatives, because there are some. Well, I mentioned that I wish we had more time with Halle Berry's character, and that kind of goes for a lot of these characters. They open the doors to all these different places. Angelica Houston and that whole realm, Halle Berry and what's going on with her, the table organization and the above table organization. All of this was opened, but I felt like with it, new storylines and new consequences, which was kind of the theme of the film, were opened as well, and we don't get any sort of resolution to them. We mostly get a resolution to our main conflict here, but there are so many new little like mini resolutions, ways that we're wondering, how did this even happen? There's a lot of moments like that actually. And while the action is awesome, there are moments where the action seems like, well, why aren't they just shooting? Why do we always have to take a pause and like set up or whatever and then start going? Or we're pulling out knives when we have a gun here and we're in some sort of chase. I also think the fight that takes place in like this glass area of the Continental was a little bit jokey. And the jokes in this mostly land for me. Most of the humor, even in the middle of the action, was really good because it centered around actual plausibilities of reloading or having to like regain your footing or regain your stance in the fight, and that all worked really, really well. But it was a bit much at the end. It was kind of like the joke equivalent of villain monologuing in that final fight, and it was just a bit over the top, in my personal opinion. I also didn't love the like appraisal woman. I just really found the actress to be quite annoying and the role itself to be quite annoying. And every time she was on screen, I just groaned, which is partially the point of her character, but it just wasn't executed all that well, I don't think. It was a cooler concept than it was actually executed and folded into the story of the film. But overall, you're here for a rock-solid, high adrenaline, nonsensical, violent action film. And that is exactly what you get. This is like nonsensical, violent action executed to its fullest potential. It is so much fun. It's beautiful to look at. It's high octane. So if you have enjoyed the first two John Wicks, this is a no-brainer. Full price ticket. If you're looking for any type of action film and you're cool with a little bit of violence, a little bit of gore in your action movies, this is a full price ticket. Now, if you're squeamish and or like just straight up action movies aren't your jam, you could probably pass on this one actually altogether. I don't think it's really going to change your mind, but hey, for the rest of us, it's pretty amazing and definitely worthy of a full price recommendation. So, that is my review of John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below, and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see John Wick Chapter 3? And what are your thoughts on the first two films in the series? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!